Welcome to those who believes in the power of dreams. So, dear viewers, on the behalf of the Genesis of Education Impression Roorkee, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Today, I profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce Dr. Susmita Samanta as a guest in our virtual interview series. She is working as a Pro Vice Chancellor in Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Dr. Susmita Samanta is PhD in Management and Stanford Lead Alumni. She is a Fellow of Royal Society of Arts and Fellow of Computer Society of India. She is a woman of strong determination and willpower. Under her dynamic leadership, university is growing day by day. So let's talk with Dr. Susmita Samanta about her journey as a Pro Vice Chancellor.
Founded by visionary social activist and educationist Dr. Achyuta Samanta, KIT University accommodates 20 sprawling Wi-Fi campus, each of which has been named after famous rivers in India. The aesthetically manicured landscape is a blend of modernity and tradition, serving an ideal space for bringing up enlightened scholars. KIT Green, one of the initiatives of the university, strives to control environmental pollution and create a healthy ambience for the students. In an attempt to make the campus completely vehicle-free, the university has prohibited the use of two-wheelers, both by staff and students in the first phase. An alternative transport arrangement has been put in place after that. Besides, the other environmental-friendly initiatives of KIT Green includes rainwater harvesting, water management, sewerage treatment, biogas, solar energy, among others. KIT also has a beautiful sculpture garden conceptualized by a nationally acclaimed sculptor. The garden, situated at the KIT School of Management, uses only locally available stones, which are deftly cut into geometrical patterns and are highlighted by colorful lights and soft music. Built amidst the grandeur of Temple City of Bhubaneswar, KIT also uniquely houses an art gallery and a rose garden, which gives students a rightful break from the classroom rigor. There is a spacious temple complex situated near the campus, dedicated to 16 major deities, including Lord Jagannath at the epicenter. The university has its Student Activities Center, which aims to gather all students under one roof with an objective of establishing a common ground for extracurricular activities. The university also has canteen facilities, including 25 food courts and 3 in-and-outs that serve a wide range of national and international dishes. In sports sector, the university has 16 sports complex, 8 swimming pools, gymnasium, BCCI-approved kids stadium, an international standard hockey stadium and an Olympic-sized swimming pool for all its students. Providing the best possible academic and non-academic grooming and empowerment which enable a student to become a global citizen, KIT University today has carved a niche as one of the most prestigious universities in the world.
So, ma'am, first I want to know about your journey, how you started as an academician, and because you are as a professor in commerce and management also, and now you are a pro vice chancellor in your university. So how you started your journey?
Yeah, after completion of my post graduation, as usual, everybody wants to be the faculty in any other institution. But before my post graduation, after completion of my graduation, I was connected to KIIT. I came across our honorable founder, Professor Dr. Achyutananda Samanta, because incidentally he belongs to our village.
Okay.
So while he started the institution, and during that time I had completed my graduation. So during that time he spoke to me, and maybe in 96, 95, 96, very people are available in the state of Orissa, those who knew to operate the computer. So he said that I am going to start one organization, and you are having some vacation till your next admission in post graduation, so you come and do some work there itself. Okay. So I said it's fine, let's see. So incidentally I came here, and I worked for a few months there itself. So after that I completed my graduation, and after graduation I started my career as a lecturer, and side by side as I was involved in preparing different proposals for different, I can say that skill development program, for starting the engineering program, MBA program. So in, side by side, I also continued that in leadership position, also in different leadership position in KIIT.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, now you are in a leadership position, so you have to manage. How you manage your academics and your administrative parts?
You have asked a very good question, but here I would like to say that in this country we have since last so many years we have tried to compartmentalize all and I can say that every sector of profession. We say that academics should grow in academics, industrialist only there should be an industrialist. There was no scope for them to come to academics again. Like those who started their career in civil services, they headed all public departments always. Slowly, little bit of initiative was there from different central government and state government, that experts can migrate to different administrative positions. Like normally academicians go as the director of education, deputy director of education. Healthcare experts go and work as the director of health in different states and all. So that sort of slowly that lateral movement started, and a very good movement has been done by our honorable Prime Minister, that in last few years he is trying to identify the experts in different fields, and he is giving them the highest tag for some time. They are heading different departments in Government of India. That sort of decision for lateral movement of experts into different administrative positions is a very good movement, that people, those who are experienced, have gained sufficient knowledge about a sector. Maybe they will be getting the chance to apply that knowledge for development of that sector in national level or the state level. It may give some different type of, I can say that, different type of momentum in that sector itself. So the same thing happened with me. I normally teach human resource management and organizational behavior. And while I teach those subjects, I think that as I am having the expertise in building those departments and care, like in human resource management, if you see the first salary structure, how the salary of one organization can be structured, that was built up by me after completion of my graduation. While I was working, I brought many books from the department, secretariat, GA department, through my colleague, read all those books, that how HR department can be structured in any academic institution. Because normally in state government, the education department, whole HR is managed by the state directorate itself. from the Department of Education, all the HR things are managed. So I brought all the books, read it, and developed the system. And I also tried to structure the finance department of KIIT. When I say finance department, mostly I was involved in automation of finance department in KIIT, and I was the domain owner of conceptualizing the whole e-governance concept in KIIT. So that practical experience helps me to bring different perspective to the class itself. Suppose I know that how to build up a department, I know that how to write the strategy, how to execute the strategy. So while I go through the case studies of Reliance, it can be Deloitte, it can be McKinsey, so then I can correlate it, I think that in much better way. And while I discuss it in the class itself, I find that perhaps I should not boast myself, I'm able to motivate the students to connect, not only to connect themselves to that subject, but I am able to take them up to the level as such they also realize that as if they are doing the work by themselves, they are doing the hands-on in the class itself. So that I think that the leadership position has helped me in academics at up to that level itself, and that also builds my confidence. And reading the theories in HR, transmitting in the class, I think that the experience gives much more, I can say that gives much more scope to transfer the realization to the students.
So ma'am, you did a lot of hard work, and I think you are a pillar of KIIT University, because you are from starting you are with the KIIT University. So, and you are in a leadership position also. So how did you maintain your personal life and your professional life as a woman, especially?
Yeah. You have asked a good question. One thing I would like to say here, I discuss many things with my son. I am having only one son. I discuss lots of things with him. So whenever he is very angry, he tells me that you don't know that how hard it is to work. You don't know that how hard it is to study, because whatever you have done in your life, whatever you loved, you did it. Then I tell him whether whatever I loved I did, or whatever I did I loved that. So you have to also learn that skill. So he says whenever you are going to the office, maybe 10 days in a month, at night 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whenever anything is happening in the campus, you are never bothered, I have seen. It's because you love it. You love to do the things in the way it comes. Maybe that was the reason why I could manage the personal life and my professional life well, because I never realized that I have done something great, or I have done very difficult things in my life. Maybe whatever I did, I am very much emotionally connected to that. I can say that much. Perhaps it happens with every woman. Every woman, it happens with them. Whatever they do, they love it, or emotion is involved there itself, and they become very possessive. And the same thing happened to me. Maybe I never realized that I am doing something more for the office or more for the house. Whenever was required, I did. And another thing I would like to thank our honorable founder, Professor Dr. Achyutananda Samanta, that he gives utmost freedom to those people, those who contribute for the organization. We make our own schedule according to our work. We make our own timeline, then we deliver. So that level of freedom and autonomy also helped me a lot to contribute or to do my best, both in my professional and in my personal life.
So you are lucky because you have freedom to do work by your own. And ma'am, so your message for the woman empowerment, because I saw few women in top leadership position, less women in India. So you are one of them. So what is your message, ma'am?
I'd like to say here that I don't say that women are having more capabilities or men are having more capabilities. But one thing I would like to say here, that women are having lots of strengths with themselves. Maybe men are also having lots of strengths with themselves, but when we are talking about women, I would like to say women are having lots of patience. They are very much hardworking, and whatever they do, they want to do it perfectly, according to their plan, according to their strategy. Whatever they make up their mind, they try to ensure that the things are being done, and they want to bring quality in everything. And on top of everything, women are very much passionate for the job they contribute. And that passion, that commitment for a particular purpose makes them different than the men in the workplace. That passion and commitment, both the things make the women different in the workplace than the men. And I can say that if each and every woman, they become confident that they can take the charge of their life. Normally it happens with all the women. Maybe our greatness has been glorified in such a way that always we love to do the things for others. And while doing the things for others, we forget about ourselves. Yes, that's very good thing. We contribute for the world. We are very broad. Our perspective is very broad. But once a woman decides to take the charge of her life and committed, passionate to do something for herself, I don't think that anything is there in this world that can stop them. I can say that most important job in this world is building the next generation. When an uneducated woman can do it without help of anybody and with sufficient education, sufficient exposure, each and every woman is having that much capability to do it. I think each and every woman is having the capability to make the difference in the world. Only we have to be confident about ourselves. And while contributing for the world, while we love to contribute for others, we love to work for others, we want to make whole world beautiful for others, we should make the world beautiful for ourselves also.
Yes, ma'am. What are your responsibilities as a Pro Vice Chancellor in KIIT?
Yeah, I work as the Pro Vice Chancellor in KIIT. Actually, this is a very big university. We run 200 programs. We are having 2,500 faculty members. Okay. So it becomes very difficult for one Vice Chancellor or one leader to manage so many things. So I directly look after the academics, research, and also the administration of to certain extent, certain aspect I look into. And for promotion of academics in last one decade, KIIT has taken lots of initiatives, mostly putting our efforts from transforming the education system in KIIT from a lecture-based method to the engage-based method. And we have changed our whole curriculum into the activity-based curriculum. And each and every course has been divided into 5 modules. And each module is having certain activities like designing a model, designing a concept. So the students learn while they do something. That keeps them engaged with the subject itself and teaches them how to apply the knowledge. So in research also lots of, I can say that lots of efforts have been put by KIIT University. Lots of research infrastructure has been built up. One big, very central research laboratory has been built up. We are having the largest technology business incubation center in this country, where 150 incubators are working on their own idea, and we have got many awards nationally and internationally for this technology business incubation center. Before 2 years, we had received the award from President of India also for the best AI in the country itself. So we are having the knowledge transfer center, we are having patent center. So if you see the research output of the university in last one decade, you'll be finding lots of improvement is there. Lots of improvement is there. A number of faculties now, they're working globally with different global universities, and their citation is more than 1,000, more than 2,000, like that. And everybody is trying to, and in last few years, the research ambience has been created both for the faculties and the students. If you see that this year, around 250 patents have been filed. Out of that, 100 patents have been filed by the students, and particularly undergraduate students. When you think about the patent filed by the PhD student, it's fine. In science and technology, PhD students will be filing the patent. But involving the undergraduate students in research activities, that initiative we had taken 3-4 years back, but now we find that the results are coming and students are getting inclined to do the research. They are motivated to write the paper, participate in conferences, and which makes the KIT student different than any other student other universities.
Okay, ma'am. So I think KIIT is doing very good under your leadership. And ma'am, my last question is, if a faculty member is having a serious problem and he and she come to you with the problem, so how do you proceed?
One thing I always believe in my life, that each and every human being, of course including myself, we all work for the survival, but with that we all work for our dignity and getting some recognition in this world, creating our own identity in this world. So while I work in the university, started working in the university in the leadership position, one thing I never forget, by respecting the dignity of others and protecting the self-esteem of everybody, those who are working in KIT or with KIT in any level. So that is my firm belief, that if the people's dignity is respected and their self-esteem is protected, perhaps they can do the wonders. And maybe that is the success of KIT, that here everybody, they work with the positive vibes, they want to grow, they want to succeed, and they want to be successful, and they want to create their own identity.
Ma'am, your message for our youth, our generation?
Yes. The present generation youth, I see them that they are totally different than our generation.
Yes.
And I can say that they are different in a very positive way. Sometimes I also find, maybe Garima, you must have, maybe you are brought up in the big towns or big cities, I don't know, but I am brought up in a small village. So while we are brought up in the small villages, small towns of this country, normally what happens there, we are having very little exposure. Maybe I had never visited a city in my life till I completed my class 10. And while I came to class 11 and joined a good institution in our district headquarters, by that time I never knew that what a city looks like. So in that sort of surroundings, when our exposure is very less, then whatever the people say in and around us, our elders, our teachers, we believe it. But suddenly while we come to a different place, a big city, then lots of confusions are made in our mind. Okay. So I find while taking the decision in any matter, in personal life, in professional life, sometimes I found in my case itself, some clarity was missing in my younger age. While I was not very exposed to the world, I didn't know much about the world. But these generation kids, because of their exposure to the internet, to social medias, this generation is very confident, and because of their engagement in social media, I find they are having lots of confidence to contribute for the world. And in social media, while they engage themselves, they learn different perspectives of a particular matter. They know the perspective in the positive sense, they learn the perspective in the negative sense since very beginning. And through that process, they learn how to filter the negative perspectives and how to how to accept the positivity. So in that process, in their decision, I find more clarity is there and more transparency is there, because they discuss everything in public forum. So since very beginning, they're very transparent about their lives, their hobbies, their decisions, and that transparency makes them very confident in their life itself.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am, for a nice interaction.